Amanda, welcome to From Misfit to Mystic.
Hello, hello. Super grateful to be here. Finally.
Right? So one of my most favorite people in the entire universe.
Thank you.
How are you doing today, my love?
I am doing amazing.
I'm really excited that you're on the show today. I can't wait to have a conversation with you about the amazing work that you're doing and your most amazing self. So let's get kick-started on that. Oh, yes. All right, so tell me about how you ended up doing what you're doing right now.
Well, if anybody knows.
How did this all happen, Miss Worthy Want? What happened here?
Well, let's see. Let's go back, 4 years ago?
Yes.
Right? Where I had a complete and utter breakdown, shall I say, to have a breakthrough. Oh. And, you know it intimately because you were my +1 on the healing journey. So, you know what, like right out of the gate, I would really like to just honor you. Because I certainly would not be the woman that I am today in the world if it wasn't for you. And you know that. I think the absolute world of you. But yeah, I mean, you also know how tough that journey was. And you know, really it required just unbecoming the can we swear on this podcast? Is it E-rated? Becoming all the stories that
you have permission to swear all you want.
All right,
do it.
To become all the bullshit that all the bullshit stories that we think that we are, right? And I think that was the beginning of my unraveling, right? Where I really needed to kind of figure out who I wanted to be in my story. And, did I want to continue to be a victim of circumstances, or did I want to be, a warrior? And so that's kind of, how it started. And, it was quite a journey, as you well know. Oh, yeah. But I have to tell you what, like, I am super grateful. Like, I can't wait to send thank you notes to all those characters.
Right?
Right? And just say thank you, like thank you, universe. Like, wow, it's such a reframe, right? Where we think we're being rejected, but my God, was the universe just like redirecting me? So
totally.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, I wanted to have you on the show first, obviously, because I absolutely love you so much. And we've become friends through the whole journey. And I just you're one of my bestest friends in the whole world. And I'm so extremely proud of you, first of all, because, unworthiness and the subjects that you talk about and the vulnerability that you share and the power that you bring forth so people can have permission to make those changes is mind-blowing, first of all.
Yeah, thank you.
Epic. For me, it's very epic. And your desire to serve in this way, it for me, it's palpable. I always tell you how proud I am of you, but it's I want everybody to know how amazing you are, because you've taken the worst time of facing self and truth and turned it into service of others and serving a world problem and leading the way and trailblazing as an advocate for this unworthiness has to change. Yeah. And I'm going to scream loud about it and become the champion of it for all the people who don't understand what I've understood. So for me, it's such an honor, first of all, to serve you and have you on this show and just share you and tell the world about all that you're doing. I you have a couple of things that I love, you have the worthy ones, you have the course, you have, so much info that you share and give and contribute and offer. You do so much. You do so much for people. You do coaching. You do personal transformational work. You do coaching. You do it's like you have an event coming up now. And you're just getting warmed up. You speak. Yeah. Hello. How did this happen? One of my favorite things to talk about is that vulnerability that you've gone through. You did the breakthrough, but what drove you to this place of wanting to share and exchange and serve and bring that to this other level of truth and exposure?
Well, I think that, I suffered so badly. You know, I mean, there were days where I was praying to everybody up there, you know, like I was begging for mercy. I could not understand. I couldn't, you know, I wanted to like easy button out of the pain. I wanted it to go away so
Yes.
big and so fast
Yeah.
that I don't ever want anybody else to suffer like that, because what I've learned, you know, through this journey is it's a choice. You know, it's a choice to stay and easy button out, or, you know, numb your pain away with Netflix, a new relationship, shopping, you know, whatever addiction there is. Or you have a choice to marinate at rock bottom. And I want to shortcut it. I mean, I'm a chapter ahead, right? I think it's my responsibility to help older versions of myself, you know, compact decades or years into days, or, you know, a day for the event, right? Where they can really fundamentally understand, hey, there's a shortcut. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to be alone in silence. And that was the one thing that I remember that you used to always say to me was, you don't have to do this alone.
Yes.
And I think that I had so much shame for what I was going through that my automatic instinct was, I'm going to isolate. You know, I had such a problem with perfectionism. You know, it was a disease where I was 5, 10, 15 masks deep, and I didn't know who the hell I was anymore, right? It's like, I got to be this person to that person. I got to be this person to that person. And I was addicted to the do of life because that's how I validated my worth.
Yes.
So if I could give people permission, and I could be that permission whisperer in somebody's life, and just to sort of say, that is bullshit. It's actually not even true. And how do I know it's not true? Because here, let me expose my wounds and turn it into wisdom, and take my mess and turn it into a message and help you rise, help you shine. And hence, you know, the word for the event, shine, because we all have that within us. And I think it's we're waiting for that elusive permission slip. Like we're 3 years old, you know, we're waiting for our parents to give us permission, or people to give us permission to be ourselves. And I think that that's just so crazy. And I did it for 46 years. I did it because I didn't know that I didn't need to do it. I didn't know that I could actually take the pen and sign my own goddamn name. Right. So that's what I really want people to understand. And that's why I will vulnerably go first. And I will share it. And I will just be like, look, like, I get it because I was you.
Well, wasn't that well said? Boom, baby, boom. Like, wow. And you know what? I have to say, like, what I adore and love about you is I remember that pain because we went through some of that work together. And for you to just like scream it out to the rooftops, hey, I'm you. I was you. And here, grab my hand. The work you do on Instagram, the work you do on Facebook, the work you do with your clients, with your program, with everything. I mean, like you all need to go and find Amanda O'Reilly. Okay, you just need to go find her, Worthiness Whisperer, because she'll blow your fucking mind. The stuff you talk about, the stuff you share, the stuff you put out there, the vulnerabilities, plus the to-dos, the list of to-dos. Here's the vulnerability. I was you. Here you go. And here's what you can do. Here's the choice. I'm mapping it out for you. Like, first of all, I don't see many people doing that, being able to bring forth these truth bombs, these vulnerability bombs, and the action bombs, like all in the same package, like all in the same post. Sometimes I'm like, and your emails, and I'm like, are you serious right now? Did she just say all that? Oh my, like, and how exciting is it? So I have to tell you, you know, and I want all of you to know, like, first of all, obviously you can see how much I love Amanda, but she's one of the most brilliant writers and people who express themselves that I've ever met. So I love you for just sharing this out in the world with everybody, with the gift and talent that you have to express what's deep down inside of people, and what was deep down inside of you, bringing it forth and showing people, well, this is what I did and this is what I'm doing, because your stuff is also present day. Hey, I was here. Look, I'm here. Anybody else going through that? Like, it's constant. Since you've made your own breakthrough, you're like a machine. You have not turned off. Like, right? And how exciting, because it just shows your drive to be of that incredible service. So I love it. I'm so excited. So let's get back to this event now. Because that to me is extremely
But I just want to say something, I think the difference is that like, I'm obsessed with knowledge. And I mean, you know it, like when even our time together, you were like, you cannot think or talk your way out of this. Like put your rational brain on pause for a second. Like you need to feel this, like trauma exists in the body and this is what we need to go here. Like turn this off.
Yeah.
So I think that what I try to do is, from the educational standpoint, like education, you get lost. You read like a paragraph and you're like, what the fuck did they just say? Like, so I try to take it and use the communicator in me and really make sense of it. So it's tangible and it's digestible. And then people can kind of, extract the golden nuggets and see themselves in the situation. Right. So that's something that I think that I do really well. And thank you for honoring that. I'm proud of that. And I think that when you can get to a place where you can just unapologetically own who you're here to be, and it's going to piss people off, and it's going to trigger people. And I'm going through that now, like there are people that just cannot, they can't handle it. It's the comparinitis starts, and it's that how on something they are. And those are the people that need the message the most, so, thank you for that. And, it's just getting started, and I'm not going to dim my light, and I'm not going to, to soften my voice. It's just going to get louder in the hopes that the people that need to hear it will receive the message. So.
Well, honestly, like you have done, first of all, mind-blowing transformations personally.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to attest to that. I know I have permission to kind of say
you do.
this.
Absolutely.
And I've been honored to be a part of it, and Grace to be, to have you as a dear friend today. And I feel very blessed about that. But the service that you're doing shows up in everything that comes back to you. Like I was telling, we were talking about this the other day, and it was just like, yeah, every time you do the right thing for yourself, the universe blesses you with another explosion of, good job. It's like amazing how the messages are so clear when you're on track and when you're off track.
Oh my God.
And how beautiful it is, and how you look at that today and recognize it. And I think it's important for everybody to know that, especially on the subject of unworthiness, because our unworthiness, when we're walking down the road of unworthiness, don't things just get worse and worse? Right? Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like, how can people, what's the checklist? I'm unworthy. I don't know what to do. What's the checklist? Like, how do I know if I'm suffering from that epidemic of I don't feel worthy in who I am? What can they do, Amanda? Like, tell them where to start. Let's talk about that.
Well, I would first start with, is that true?
Yes.
And who even told you that?
Nice.
Who told you that?
Yeah.
And where did that start? Where do you feel that in your body?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yes. And I think I would go there, because is that even your story?
Yes.
Because, with mine, and well, I'll go first, right? Yeah. That I was raped, and that's how I lost my virginity. I was saving myself for somebody worthy, and I was, raped, and my life totally shattered. And at that point, I adopted the story that I'm broken, I'm unworthy, I need to be perfect. I, need to be Julie Cruz director, Sally psychologist, and Martha Stewart all into one. And I have to be this perfect thing and being for people. And I have to do in order to feel worthy of love, in order to receive. Yeah. And I took on that story up until, we met. Mm-hmm. And that's where, I remember it was like yesterday, we were like, you need to heal this unworthiness shit. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about, because I'm just like an overgiver. Like, I'm just like a people pleaser overgiver. Like, what are you even talking about? And you're like, okay. And the thing is that I was treating it at the leaf level. I didn't get to the root of it to sort of say, where did that seed get planted and then grow into this tall, big, fat oak tree that was, totally throwing shade on my life? And so it's to go back to that and say, where did you even pick that up? How did that even become part of your story? Right. And unbeknownst to me, that became part of my story. And then it fucking blew up my life, because I became this, I was so out of control inside that I tried to control everything outside, and it cost me my son. And I can own that without shame today, because I know where I went wrong. And I know that, I was totally unconscious and it was a wound. And, trauma exists in the body. It
Yeah.
doesn't exist in the mind. And so for all these years when I'm trying to go through talk therapy and I'm not getting anywhere, and they're staring at me with a pad, you realize that, hey, it exists in the body. So, through our work together, and that's where I say I honor you, because I wouldn't be this woman that I am today, because you were able to go in. And I remember it was like, I said to you, I feel like a piece of Velcro and I have all these balls, and you said, like, we're taking them off like one by one. And so you can move and you can have mobility, and then we can get to the root of it and just yank it up.
Yeah.
Stop watering that root.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's where I would have people start is like, where did you first feel that? Like, let's go back.
Yep.
And is it even true? Is it true that I'm unworthy? No, my goddamn name is Amanda, means worthy of love. Like my dad wanted to call me Kelly. Thank God he lost that bet, because these worthy ones wouldn't be what they are today if he had won and I was Kelly after his dog. But it was time to claim my birthright and start acting, in accordance to who I'm here to be in this world, and take up space. So
love it, Amanda. I really do. And by the way, you love, like, we love talking about I am statements, and AM is like the beginning of your name. So I'm just mentioning that as well.
Oh yeah, you never shared that one with me. Right? That's a good one.
Yeah, it just came to me. Yeah. So if somebody, because I really, I love, this work is so important to me too. And I love the torch you're carrying for it. I really do. It means so much to all of us. But I know people might not even know how to identify that unworthiness feeling. Is there like maybe one or two ways for them to identify the feeling of unworthiness and then go, oh, I think I have this, and then ask those questions of, where did this come from? Like, who told me that I'm not okay? Like, what do you think?
I think for me, it's a sense of alignment.
Yeah.
Right. So if you feel good and you feel in flow and you feel happy and your mind isn't racing, it's not going to the past, to make up a story, or it's not going to the future to try to, make up something that hasn't even arrived yet. If you can be present and you can be completely in alignment and at peace, then I think that you're good. It's that we start to make up all these stories and start the comparinitis, and I'm not good enough and I won't be loved. And that's, everybody's primal fear in life. Doesn't matter who you are, age, race, religion, is our primary fear is if we're not enough, we won't be loved. Yep. And we'll be kicked out of the tribe. Okay. And so that's why we conform and we do whatever we do, because we don't want to be, we don't want to lose people's love, and love is the oxygen of the soul. Yes. So I think that if you're getting that triggered, it's to sort of say, okay, what's the root of it? Like, what's the fear? What's coming up for you? And to identify it. Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. Because there's so many other layers. So is it like unworthiness? No. Like, it's just like, why can't people hold on to money? Well, it's because they have this belief that they're not worthy, or that they can't hold, whatever it is. It's all in the mind. Yep. Right. And 95% of the thoughts and 50% of the memories are not even true. Mm-hmm. It's not even true. So I think that it starts there, and it's to sort of say, well, what is coming up for you? What do you feel? Like, you feel the pull of, like, if it's jealousy, if it's anger, if it's rage, it's comparinitis, whatever it might be. Yeah. It's the question that our parents hated us for asking, why? Mm-hmm. Why? Why do you feel that way? Yeah. Why do you believe that? Who told you that? Is it even true? Like, just start questioning your thoughts and your beliefs, because they're not true unless you believe them.
So I love that. So basically you're saying to everybody, and tell me if this is correct, you're looking for your discomfort. And if you have discomfort and your mind is racing and you're kind of like scrambling around, worrying about so many things, and if you'll get approval, if people are going to love you, you're worrying about how you look, if you're doing enough, these negative kind of compounding thoughts, then you may want to look at, you may have this unworthiness going on somewhere inside, that you don't feel like you're okay, and that you're going to lose love from your tribe or not be accepted, right?
And that's the thing. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's like me putting myself out there with shine. You know, that was vulnerable. And it's like, oh my God, are my friends going to reject me? Are my friends going to support me? You know, am I going to speak properly? Am I going to sell tickets? It's all the fear that's coming up that's making me feel, oh my God, maybe I can't do it. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. It's all a story. Is it true? No, it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have like 20,000 followers on Instagram. Like I have people that are receiving my messages that fill up my inbox daily. So is it true? No, it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But our minds are wired,
Yes,
you know, to keep us safe, not to keep us happy. We have to work for the happiness, right?
mm-hmm.
So we're in this fight or flight, amygdala, cortisol activating, going, oh my God, am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? And that's like most people live in that zone.
Yes.
So for to have that fundamental understanding that you can shift gears, like in a car, you can put it into neutral, you can drop into your body, you can ask the questions and say, okay, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And is this even mine? And is this story even true?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you what, I never even fathomed to question the story until you were like, let's discuss.
Yeah, let's pull this apart.
Yeah, and I was like, I would defend it. I was like, yeah, and that, and that, and that, this, and they, and that, and it was like, okay, what?
That was the best. I remember that conversation we had one time. I'm like, and I remember my whole energetic being went, and the universe came down and went, Lisa, be very still. And I remember my voice changed, and I said, okay, Amanda, let's really look at this.
Yeah.
Let's like pause it at every segment and really see what you're thinking and feeling, which I love that this discussion about when you're moving so fast, you don't see the underlying process of who you're trying to get approval from, of what you really think about yourself, about how inadequate we might feel. You know what I mean? So what I love about just like talking about this, first of all, it's like slowing it all down. But what I love about the work you're doing is you're bringing it so rapidly forward that people don't have to pause. They know the truth by reading it, because it's a big thing, you know, that we don't talk about. But the way you're expressing yourself and opening, it's kind of like Brene Brown, you know, she like cracked open a door. Oprah cracked open a door. I look at you like you're cracking open the veil and saying, look, let me speed this up for you, like you mentioned before. Let me speed it up. Let me put the words to it so you can go, yeah, me.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go through 17,000 years of trying to figure it out while you stay stuck in the prison. Let me get you out, because I'm opening the door for you. Critical to the work, and critical to the change of that social epidemic we call unworthiness, right? Which I know.
Yeah, and it's also critical to the lineage in the family.
Yes.
Because if it stops with you, then you give your kids a chance to be who they are here to be.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I can love my son. He's taught me the greatest love. He's taught me unconditional love. Like, you know, I didn't know what that looks like, because it was like, I can't speak about my shame. I can't speak about my trauma. We're going to bury it because we are not equipped as parents. I love my parents. My parents are great parents, but they weren't equipped. Like, you can do the best with what you know. And they didn't have the tools at the time, and nor did I with Alexander. So I was raising him very unconsciously until now, where now I can say it stops with me.
Yep.
And because I know better, I will do better.
Yep.
And I will instill in him that he has choices and that he is worthy no matter what. And he is not his behavior, right?
Yes.
We are not our behavior.
Yep.
So that's why I'm so passionate about it. And that's why I want to talk about it and say it's not, you know, a bad word. Unworthiness is not a bad word.
Absolutely
we
not.
all suffer from it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, because
we all suffer from it. Yeah, and I mean, it's a lot of it's societal. Like it's the filters and the this and the that, and you're trying to compare yourself against, you know, your chapter 20 to somebody else's chapter 1, or your 1 to their 20. Like, it's to take a breath and slow down and sort of say, who do you even want to be in your story? Mm-hmm. And I think that was the pivotal moment for me.
Yeah.
Right, where it's to say, do I want to keep getting cheated on? Like, what the hell is so broken in me that every man that I've been with have been lying, cheating sacks of shit? Like, what is that? I'm the common denominator in this, right? So I really had to flip the lens and say, what is going on here?
You know, people now, I'm telling you, I know that you all can see why we get along, okay? We're just getting warmed up. You know, like
Right?
honestly, like, and women especially, like, you need to hear this, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, and it's even like just seeing, like, I actually laugh at myself. I feel so sorry for her, but it's like, seeking validation. I'm like, girl, the only thing you should have validated is your parking slip. Like,
Right?
seriously. So this is where I'm really passionate about sort of saying to other people, like, it's a no. It's like, it's a no. And we feel it. We know it. Like, I totally turned off my intuition.
You did.
Like, totally.
Yeah. Not
It's
anymore.
like, and we're all born with it. We all have it. So it's not like we're, you and I have something that everybody listening and watching doesn't have. We all have that ability.
Yeah, of course.
And once you turn it on, wow. Right?
Yeah.
Like, magic.
It is because you get connected to your truth, and especially, like, talking about experience, like, listen, I'm a direct channel, but that unworthiness got in my way from hearing what I'm gifted to hear. We all have that intuition, absolutely, at different layers and abilities. But once you have unworthiness, you don't feel worthy of anything. So when that grows, the boss of all bosses, that incredible, powerful being that has the ultimate love, I can't hear that because I'm not worthy of that. And once you go there, there's such a loneliness and an emptiness, and then everything in human life just becomes so much more important than the essence of who we really are. So there's so many reasons why it's important to understand nothing's wrong with you, right? Nothing wrong with anybody.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's also important to know that it's a choice. So if you want to stay in that place, that's a choice.
Yeah.
Right.
It really is.
And you're choosing to sort of say, and the reason why people do it, as is people will do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. Right. So we're addicted to the certainty of life, even if it's dysfunctional and even if it's not good for you.
Completely. Yeah.
Right? Because it's better to dance with the devil than the devil that you don't know. So I would rather stay here and know, hey, I'm going to get, lied and cheated on and my money's going to get taken and because, hey, you know what? It's better than to be abandoned. Totally. But self-abandonment is the worst betrayal of all.
Hello. Right? Language, sister.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if we can, spread that message and just really say, you know what? Like, you were created for more.
Absolutely. My favorite.
And give yourself permission to go figure out what that is.
100%. Yeah. And I was going to say, my favorite conversation is about self-betrayal is the worst betrayal of all. And once you realize you're doing it, you can't do it. Because once you realize it's not about them, and while you're making it about them, we're betraying ourselves and our heart and our spirit and everything that we are, You know what I love too, and I want to bring up, because I think the audience needs to hear this. So you're a very successful professional. You're really, you have this, other business you've managed for a long time, a concierge service. You're amazing. You're educated. You're an incredible human being. Yet, the show, this From Misfit to Mystic, why did I create the show is like, because that's what people feel like when they feel unworthy. They feel like they don't fit in. They feel like a misfit. They don't know where their power is. They don't know who they are. And it doesn't matter, my key point in this part is like, it doesn't matter where you come from. You can still feel that feeling. So, and even in your case, from what you're sharing, like, I had a reason. I had a badge on my head that said, like, nobody wanted me. I was totally, fully, and completely rejected. My parents did their best, but wow, was I ever left by myself? I had a reason to have the badge. You know what I mean? I wasn't educated. I quit school. A totally different life experience to you, and yet felt exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, we're more alike than we're not, right?
Yeah.
We're more alike than we're not. We all doesn't matter. Like, Tony Robbins talks about our 6 human needs. Like, we all are. It depends on what order they're in, is what's going to, is what's going to give you the really super happy, joyful, abundant life, or you're going to be a victim of circumstances. So, and it just depends on the order that yours were in. And I was so addicted to certainty and significance and feeling significant, because then I would feel loved. That I was really setting myself up to be a shit show, because the only constant in life is change. So if I was addicted to things being the same, hello?
work. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's so well. So yeah, I mean, and I think it's just like the more that we can have people understand that and really put the power back in people's pockets where, you know, they feel that they are in control,
Mm,
because newsflash, you are. Like, we are powerful co-creators of our own reality. So if you don't like, you know, what's playing out on the movie screen in front of you, change the channel, change your frequency, change your energy, change your thoughts, because that's, you are 100% responsible for that.
yeah, and that you can do. You have control of the dial. You may not know exactly what channel you want to be on yet, but you can turn the dial. You can do something, which is
Well,
really,
you know, and it's like, and I think that people get to this phase, and I certainly did. It's, you know, there's two ways. You either change by inspiration or desperation. And I was desperate. I mean, I was like, okay, I am not, I'm going to drown in the fetal position in the shower unless I get the hell up and say, okay, you know, no, this is not the way the story ends.
yeah.
And you know, it's like the hero's journey, right? You have to go on sort of the you know, the classic hero's journey,
Yeah,
and here we are.
100%. Yeah, the other thing too, I love that you're talking about is choice, you know. So, you know, one of the ways that people can choose that are listening that go, wow, you guys are talking about me and I'm you.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the ways, I mean, there's lots of ways they can start. Something I think is really important is the course that you created, because I think it's really, really detrimental to people. And you've created it for this specific subject. It's built
Yeah.
for people to go down the journey of unworthiness and change the current of that, those choices and those habits, and to create a new culture inside. And to understand what's going on and to find a new road and a new destination.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want people to know about that. Just like, and I also want to talk about Shine and obviously the Love Warrior
Unworthy
that
ones.
you have, because I just
Yeah.
want people to know what you're doing and how
Yeah.
you can start the ball rolling of change.
So my course is called Breakdown to Breakthrough. And I mean, it literally is a blueprint of how I went from complete eviction from my life, from, you know, being somebody's fiance to, you know, almost being somebody's wife, somebody's mother, to being completely evicted from all the titles, labels, everything, and just having to unbecome everything and figure out who the hell I was in my story. So it was from eviction notice, you know, and I take them on a journey. I'm going to give them all the steps that I took, you know, to go from that, the lowest point in my life, to, you know, thriving in a 7-figure business, right? And how did I get here where I absolutely fucking love my life? I like legitimately can say I wake up and I love my life. How did I get here? And is it impossible? It is not impossible. Like, you know it, you saw me, like how many times, like, thank God I had you on like text speed dial, was like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. You know, so it is possible. And so I kind of help people and compound, you know, just the investment that I made in myself and my learning and my growing and my healing, and I compounded into an 8-week course. So that's online. It's, you know, you can go at your own sort of self-pace. Healing, you know, is a journey. My journey might look nothing like their journey, but what it does is it starts a conversation and it opens up the door, and I give them the tools and the questions to really sit down and ask themselves to really try to get to know who's like, who are you living your life for, right?
Yes. Of course.
Why are you doing this? What moves you?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And so then we kind of go through there and really help them figure out what their true north is, because you can get spun around, but if you really truly honestly know where home is, and it's not 4 walls and a roof, you'll be okay.
Yes.
You know? So thank you for bringing that up. I'm really, you know, I love the course, people's transformation. I love to see their transformation, you know, on the other side. They're totally different creatures, just like I am. So I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I've been coasting because I'm comfortable. I write free content, as you said, and as you know, I'm there doing that. But I was like, it's time to take it up another level, and it's time to just say, all right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I said I'm going to do an event, and I'm going to serve, and I'm going to give everything I have to give, you know, all these beautiful souls that are like my sisters, that are me, that are just older versions of me. And I'm going to give it all. I'm going to create this day I just got my NLP certification, and I'm going for my master's, and I really want to take the sort of the geek, mindset work of it, and really not dumb it down, but really dumb it down, and have people understand that size does matter organ wise, but only when it comes to the
Well, girl.
this big 3-pound beautiful thing that we've got between our ears, it astonishes me that you can walk into a doctor's office and you can say, I've got anxiety, I've got depression, I've got, mental illness, or whatever it is, and they will write you a script, and nobody measures your brain. Nobody tells you, that it's mental wellness, and you have to participate in your own, well-being. And people are just written a prescription, and they're told that there's something wrong with them, and they're broken, and they are not broken. Their thinking is broken. We run around like freaking mad people. Our phone goes to 8% or 2% or 0%. We're like, oh my God, we need a cord. And like, what the hell? I gotta go to my car. My phone's gonna die. Do we do the same when it comes to our mindset? No. Like, what the hell is wrong with that? Like, we will upgrade our phones. Like, Apple has a friggin' new iOS upgrade, every 3 weeks?
And new phones every second week. Yeah.
Okay. Do we take the time to do a mindset, soul, mind, body upgrade? We don't.
Yeah. We don't even think about, like, we have to plug in.
Because people are like, I'm not worthy.
Yes.
I can't do it. I have to serve other people before me. Hi, oxygen on the airplane. It doesn't say, oh, I'm going to put it on you first. It says, put your ask on yourself before you help somebody else.
Yes.
So self-care is not a luxury. It's a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make that the new sexy. I want to make that the new black.
Yeah, I love it.
This is what Shine is. And, I could think of no better person to hold space than you, because you kind of helped create this 2.0 version of me. And so I'm like, okay, I honor you, and I honor the work that you're here to do. And I really feel that we're just going to blow the roof, and we're just going to blow people's souls wide open. And
such a good time. And I feel grateful to be a part of this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Explosive, honestly. So tell us more, just like, so people know Shine, how can they where can they sign up?
So on my website, amandaoreilly.ca/shine.
Perfect.
I think that you've got it on your pages. I've got it on mine. If you have show notes, we can put my website in the show notes. We can put the link in the show notes.
I will for sure.
People find me on Instagram, amanda.o'reilly. In my bio, you can find it there as well. I think Ottawa's ready for it. I think we're ready for a next level. We're ready for
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want you to talk about it. I want us to talk about some of the conversations we've had, because I believe that, people need to know what's going to happen there, because, just talking with you here, it's obvious how we are together. We just have a really good time. And not only that, but we really can talk about some intense subjects and just make them as a matter of fact. And just listen, you have choice. Let's bring you to the choice. We want to serve you. We don't want to talk at you. We want to serve you.
No.
Is like key to this whole event, and key to you. And it's very important, is that's not me. I mean, that's what I do. You know who I am, but you, who you are, the essence of who you are, is to help people bring their actions into a place where they truly make change. And you give them that permission through the things that you share vulnerably. And Shine, I don't think is going to be any different. I watched you, how you've been inspired, and also the Worthy Ones. Like, we haven't talked about that, but I want people to know about the Worthy Ones and how that was inspired inside you as well. Everything about what you're doing is to say, I want you to know there's something you can do exactly where you are. I'm going to do everything I can in my power to offer you something that will give you the gift of choice.
Yeah.
Even if it's a Worthy One, if it's my event, if it's my program, if it's coaching with me, if it's my Instagram, but the event seems like another level of experience, right? That's what it feels like when even you talk about it and we talk about it. Tell me about what you're bringing forward here.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm trying to create an environment that I wish that existed when I was going through the fight of my life. you know, whether it's, you know, on Instagram, or whether it's a course, or whether it's an event, you know. And that's why I'm so addicted to sort of, you know, Tony Robbins. It's because the energy in the event and the transformation happens in the immersion. It happens, you know, when you're able to move your body, you're able to anchor and change. And that's what, you know, I'm going to hope to bring to shine is, you know, everything that I've learned with Tony and I've experienced with Tony. And then even just from a workbook, like I'm going to create this beautiful workbook, and we're going to do deep dive exercises. We're going to do live coaching and like interventions and transformations on the spot, where it's not going to be a round table. I'm going to talk at you. I don't want that. That's not the kind of event I want to put on. I want to put on a really immersive event where people feel loved, they feel supported, they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel welcome. Because that's why I stopped actually going to events, because I felt like I didn't belong in the tribe, and I wasn't in this cliquey group. And this is not that. Like, there will be no mean girls. It will really be a space where other women will be taught how to hold space and honor other women, and really just create this community of support, and really understand that, you know, I'm just one chapter ahead of you, and you might be just a couple of pages ahead of somebody sitting next to you. But, you know, together, holding hands, this is how we create change. And this is, you know, because we're all the same. I mean, we really are. We all struggle with the same things, the same thoughts, the same fears. And so that's really, it is next level. And I'm really super excited about it. There's going to be lots of dancing, you know, movement, laughter, tears, you know, stories. I'm going to go first. I'm going to share, you know, my stories. And then it's going to be a roadmap, right? Where we're really going to be we're going to touch on all aspects. We're going to touch on spirituality. I mean, I didn't know what spirituality was. It was like, I thought it was a religion before I even, you know, went down the rabbit hole, right? I grew up Catholic, like a little altar girl. And I was like, what is hell is spirit? Like, what is that, you know? And it's something that we all have within us, and it doesn't matter what you believe, right? But we're going to sort of open the conversation that we are souls in a meat suit. Like, let's be honest, right? And so to really sort of put it down to that level where I am not above you, you are not above anybody else. Like, we are all the same, right? So it's to sort of say that everybody feels pain, everybody feels the same fears, and let's kind of go there. And then let's talk about mindset, and let's talk about how your mind and your beliefs and your story that's not even true affects your life. And let's rewrite a more powerful story. And I'm going to give them exercises and tools, and we're going to pull it out of them. And we're just going to have them really step into the powerful, beautiful beings that they are and who they're created to be. And most people don't even know. I mean, I didn't know. Yeah. Right. I knew from a young age that I really had a gift to hold space for people and help people. But
that's crazy, because you're one of the most generous, giving, helpful, like, let me take care of it people. It was just before isolated in that unworthiness, right? So it was just to a few people. Now it's to everybody.
Yeah.
That's the breakthrough, right? Is like, you are so much more. And I mean, the event for me, when we talk about it and we experience, like, I know that that's part of the whole gift to the people that come, is you are going to find something in yourself you didn't know you have. And
absolutely,
you give yourself permission to find that person and be that person. And and we're going to help you, and let us help you. We want to help you, you know, because I know, you know, what I'm going to do, which we're not talking about it because I want some surprises, you know what I mean? It was really fun, and the live interventions and conversations on wealth and money and all the important things that women need to know, really need to know, to make the transformations in an acceleration, because you're in that tribe. Because when women are together in a group and they're in the right space of love and support, massive transformation happens. You know?
Absolutely. And you can also see yourself in another sister. Like, you can see yourself in another person where, you know, it's like somebody might have, you know, going through it, and then you go, oh my God, I that's me. Right. And then you'll just absorb the information like a sponge in water, and you'll be able to sort of apply it to your own life. So I think that there's going to be something for everybody in it. You know, but like change, you know, for you to be able to have change, you have to have willingness. So I don't think this is, for everybody. I think the people that are, stuck in their way and are not open to change and are not open to transformation, this probably would not be a fun day for them.
No, no, definitely not with me there.
Yeah.
No, come on, let's do it. No,
Yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
you want to be willing, just because. And if if anybody's listening to this and saying, God, geez, I just want to be there, just come. Don't even just.
Yeah. And even if you don't know anybody, like I wrote that on the website, like, come find me, find you. We'll hold your hand. We'll introduce you to some really amazing people that will become your like soul family. Honest to God, they'll become like lifelong best friends. I've met some of my closest people at events, because you're in there and you're going deep and you're being vulnerable and you're sharing and they're helping, they're asking questions, and it's how it happens, right?
Yeah. Exciting thing when you talk to me about joining you and being a part of it. For me, the really exciting part is to know that I'm not going to be speaking at people.
No.
To be on the ground doing the work with them, and
Yeah.
being a part of their transformation at a deep level, and
Yeah.
at me and you level. Like, I'm with you. Like, I'm not at you, talking at you. This to me is like going to be really different and so profoundly beautiful and expansive, and I can't wait. By the way, what are the dates?
27th of September.
Thanks. I know, but I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah, September 27th. It's going to be at the Infinity Center, but all the information, we created a beautiful website, so every question that you could possibly ever have is covered on there. And if we miss something or if you're unsure, just reach out to us, and we'd be so happy to. Yeah.
So, like, we're coming to the end of our conversation for this time, because obviously I'm going to want more of you, because I always do. And you're amazing and fabulous. And I just absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt, there's going to be more and more that you're going to share as you learn and grow and expand and just blow the roof off this unworthiness epidemic. But I wanted to honor you for some of the service that you have done for women, and young women with the Worthy Wands. And I want people to know about that, because I think it's really important how you've helped and how you've contributed, and how part of the funds of the Worthy Ones go to, specific
Operation Underground.
So, yeah, I want you to share about that so people know.
So the Worthy Wands, I have two versions of it. So this one here, it says worthy on one side, it says enough on the other. And for me, I wanted to create an anchor, a reminder of our birthright. And, my name means Amanda, means worthy of love. And so that's kind of how they came to be. And I really wanted, I don't know how many times people will say, do you realize that you're holding onto your wand? Because it's an anchor. It's to put us back into our skin. And this is sort of say that, what, we can break that spell. We can, tell that mean girl in our head to suck it, that it's not even true. And, and just be like, no, we got this. They've saved 2 lives to date that I know of, 2 women that, almost took their lives to suicide. And, the wand went flashing in front of them, and they remembered that, that they in fact are enough. So to me, that's, the greatest gift of all. It's gotten women off, antidepressants and medication and all kinds of stuff. And so this past February, I teamed up with Operation Underground Railroad, which is an organization against human trafficking of children. So 10% of the proceeds go to every wand sold, goes to help a rescued child that, really feels not enough and totally unworthy in their own life. And the funds go to really help rebuild their little souls and support the great work that this non-for-profit organization is doing. So, and then the second one that you have around your neck, I came out with the second version, and you'll learn about this in my course, is that when I was evicted from life as I knew it, and I literally needed to come up with different identities and titles that nobody would disqualify me from or take it away from me. And somebody, could say, well, you're not going to be my mom, you're not going to be my wife. Like, I was getting disqualified left, right, and center. So what was some words and some identities, my I ams, that I could hold on to? Yeah. And I decided that, that I am a warrior, and warriors can do hard things. And I was in the fight of my life. So the warrior, was I'm a warrior. And I chose the word love because if I am love and if I lead with love, everything will work out.
Yeah.
So that's how Love Warrior
It is, and
came
it
to
says
be.
love on one side, and then it says warrior on another. So that's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love it, and it reminds me of every day. What for me, that's how I live it. Like every day, I think of it. Well, that's what I'm doing. This is
Yeah.
what this is who I am, and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So thank you for creating these because I love
Oh,
them and I gift them,
thank you.
as you know.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love how they're catching on. I love how, so many women are just they're standing a little bit taller and they're really just it's an anchor and it's a reminder. And I think that, in a world that we have a fire hose of information coming at us trying to make us feel unworthy, that we're not enough of this, that, the other thing, we're not skinny enough, tall enough, successful enough, beautiful enough, whatever enough of. I wanted to create an antidote, and the worthy ones are my antidote to
Yeah.
what's going on in the world.
It's a beginning step too, right? For a person to just declare and give themselves permission to say, I'm this, and now I'm going to change. So
Yeah.
what I was saying before, all the layers that you've created, so people can choose where they're ready to stand.
Yeah.
With you, including the event Shine. You're just like shining brighter and brighter and giving more people the opportunity to shine bright as well. So I'm so proud of you, Amanda. Like
Thank you.
I love you so much.
I love you too. Thank you.
And I'm so, so, so proud of you. And I can't wait for the more. And just remember, audience, please, check her out. She's absolutely phenomenal. And you can't go wrong no matter whatever you find. It's going to be good. Trust me. It's always good.
Thank you so much.
So good. And you put tremendous passion and purpose and thought into everything that you give, which is just beautiful and says everything about who you are.
Mm.
And thank you so much for being on the show. And I'm
Oh,
sure,
I loved it. Thank you.
yeah, I'm sure you're going to touch a ton more people. And we'll get back on and check
Yeah,
out Trinette, everybody. It's going to be such a good.
yeah. We hope to see you there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, darling.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Talk to you next time. Bye, everybody. See you soon.